Hello guys, we are back for the second half of this MLB season. We have a full slate of games on Friday, July 22nd. We still have some teams that haven't announced a probable starting pitcher, so there's still some things that we do have to look at, but with what we do know so far, gonna dive into it. First inning runs, not anything that I'm gonna be playing, at least for what they have on the board right now. They're only 12 props here. They basically removed all the good ones, like, there's an Ohtani and Morton game, Scherzer and Darvish, so they're just not letting us take those, and I mean, what can you do? So nothing that I like for this category. Strikeouts, actually nothing either, like Darvish, Gossman, and Giolito. These numbers look kind of low, but the matchups aren't the greatest, so I don't really feel comfortable taking those guys for the over, even though they definitely have the talent. But where we do have some plays, starting at pitcher fantasy score. Actually going to have 3 unders here, starting with Cal Quantrill, 24.5. Under against the White Sox. Quantrill, he's like an okay pitcher. He's not going to strike guys out, and he just kind of is like a weak contact pitcher. His expected ERA is a lot higher than what his ERA is right now, and he has some splits here. Taking a look home and away, he's been much better at home, 5-0. ERA is much better there, so away, it looks like it's going to be a problem for him. If you look at the White Sox on the year, when they're playing at home, their WRC plus is not good. It is actually 81, but their strikeout rate, it's only at 20%, and that ranks 25th. So that is 6th least, and the White Sox, remember, they've been dealing with a ton of injuries, and still their lineup tomorrow, they probably aren't going to be at full strength, so they're going to be healthier now, so we're going to be seeing more of a, closer to full strength lineup for the White Sox, and they're playing at home. It's going to be 84 degrees. Just the White Sox, they are a good offense. Even at the bottom of this line, like Moncada's been playing a lot better. Eloy Jimenez, hopefully he can stay healthy, but this top half, it's definitely very threatening. Quantrill not going to be striking out guys. That's going to be a concern for it, because this White Sox lineup, they do have strikeouts, but if they're going to be able to make contact with the ball, that's probably going to be trouble. And they can put up a ton of runs. They have some speed. They can steal off of him. And Anderson and Robert. So I think this is kind of high. Giolito, though, as well on the other side, I kind of like this under here. For him, he also has a very good, it's a matchup that is not good for his strikeouts. Giolito, his strikeout rate's pretty solid, 76th percentile, 27.1 on the year, but he has not been good. 4.49 expected ERA, and he gives up a ton of bombs. He has reverse splits, an insanely high fly ball rate, 33.6 for this season. And then you look at the Guardians, when they're on the road, their WRC plus ranks 4th best. And in their K rate, they strike out the 3rd least. So those are both things that definitely don't look too good. I would say Giolito probably has a better win shot, but he really hasn't been an ace, and he's kind of priced at a projection where he is. So that's the reason why I like the under here. Now, don't play these guys together in the same entry, because they're both the starting pitchers in the same game, and in the event that one of them does get the win, he might go over, and that's going to, of course, ruin your entry. So split these guys up if you do want to play both of them for the under. And then the third one, right next to them, Drew Rasmussen, under 26.5. Taking on the Royals. Rasmussen, also a guy that just has some pretty significant splits. He's a Tampa Bay Ray, so when he's playing at home, it's going to be much easier, pitcher-friendly ballpark. But now he's going to be going into Kansas City. Not like great hitter's ballpark, but you look at the expected ERA, he is going to be headed for some negative regression, and his numbers, they just don't look that great. He's kind of been lucky, and one thing about this Royals team, these stars, they basically got 2 weeks off, I think, so they're going to be very well rested, and this game is in 97-degree weather, 10-mile winds blowing out, so it is very good hitting, they're very good hitting conditions here. Brad Keller, not a good pitcher, definitely concerning. Rasmussen could have a good shot at the win here, but if he struggles in his own right, he's not going to be able to go deep. He's not someone that usually goes like 6+ easily, so that could be a struggle there. And Kansas City, they really, they don't really strike out. And again, this is going to be a pretty healthy lineup that they got. Of course, no Sal Perez, but he does strike out a ton. So in a way, it could be actually good. So under for Rasmussen's fantasy score. And then we got some pitch counts, pitches thrown. First one's going to be Kevin Gausman, over 92.5. This is a more of a tier 3 play, I would say. Kind of borderline there because he did just come back from injury. And this is the second start. Now there's an all-star break in between it. But yeah, the Red Sox, they're a tough matchup. So if we do see him struggle, maybe he doesn't actually get there. And again, all-star break. First game back for the Blue Jays. So they really don't need to push him. The bullpens are going to be well rested. That's going to be the same thing for across the league, other than the teams that did play Thursday. So still, though, I think this number on the other side is going to be a little higher. So there's kind of a discount here for the over. If he's going to be pitching well, he's definitely going over this one. So that's why I do have it still as an official play. And then this next one, I mean, weird. If you're tired of him, I mean, okay. But Spencer Howard at 89.5, this guy just keeps getting lucky. He was going to go under for both these last starts, but due to an umpire getting in the way and also an inning where he just got really lucky getting out of it with a warning track fly ball, loading the bases up twice in the game, getting out of it like unscathed. Like those things just are not going to happen. Spencer Howard is not a good pitcher. This is a very easy matchup, but another thing is that last start, that bullpen was not totally beat up, but they also weren't like fresh. Now the Rangers, they did play on Thursday, but still, you're coming out of an all-star break. They didn't use a ton of bullpen arms. They're going to have a lot of guys that are well rested, so they really don't need to push this guy. He hasn't been great. He just doesn't really go deep at all. This guy, I mean, he went over 90 pitches like once, only his last start. You could make the argument that he's going to get stretched out now, but honestly, this guy, he's not a great pitcher. Oakland, yes, it's a good matchup for him, but he was going to go under basically both starts, the last two that he's at the over. So I think that this number, it's increased by too much, and I would say the chances definitely are better for the under. If you play an underdog, take the under over there. It is at 90.5, so that extra pitch definitely could come in handy, but I'm going to continue picking the under on this guy because Spencer Howard, he's just not going to continue to get this lucky. And I mean, if this is just going to be the guy again. He's going to go under. I know it hasn't worked the last two times, but the research, the way that he's at the over, it's just not going to be something that can continue to happen. So that's the reasoning here. And another under, this one, Tyler Anderson, under 94.5. The game is actually still going on, so not sure about how the bullpen situation is going to be for the Dodgers, but it's the same thing here. It's the second game for them. The Dodgers take it very easy on their starters, and Tyler Anderson really isn't a guy that will go that deep. Sure, he had a 123 pitch outing, but that was because he had a no-hitter. And since then, they've kind of taken it easy. There was a game where they used him a little bit longer than usual, but that was also due to the bullpen issues. They had an extra inning game on Sunday night. So, all these reasons, like they're just, I mean, they take it easy. Dave Roberts, that pitching staff, or the coaches. So a 94.5, to me, this should be maybe like 91, 92.5. And he can also just run into some trouble with the Giants. Also, the Giants, they always platoon. So if you see the Giants start pinch hitting, they're going to remove Anderson for a righty. So that's another big plus. I kind of like this one over the Howard one, the under. So I would say Anderson is the preferred play for me, but of course, pitches thrown, these two guys, I've been kind of rolling with them. I picked Anderson last time. That was an underdog though, because the line was higher over there for the under, but now they're the same, and I do believe this is still too high. On to hitters now. Starting off, Shohei Ohtani at 6.5. This one, I like the over, taking on Charlie Morton. Morton is a fastball, curveball pitcher. The Angels, they likely are going to be without Mike Trout again, at least for the first few days, maybe a week or so for just after the break. But Charlie Morton, fastball, curveball once again. He gets Ks, but I mean, you look at the lefties, it is really two pitches for him. And Ohtani, hitting-wise, I mean, one of the best players in the league, MVP last season. Fastball on the curve, 6-run value and 7-run value. These are by far Ohtani's 2 best pitches to hit. And you also get the stolen base ability, the upside in that. Also, the Angels are going to be the away team, so they're going to be able to play all 9 innings here batting, and that's going to be huge. This is a good matchup in terms of against Morton for Ohtani. So I would say the strikeouts are the concern, but we're getting a very, very good hitter at a 6.5 projection, and then you also get that stolen base upside. So I like this one. And then we attack the pitchers for the unders in this White Sox and Guardians game. So we're going to be attacking the hitters' overs. Tim Anderson and Jose Abreu, both overs. I think these are too low. Cal Quantrill will allow stolen bases, and Tim Anderson does do that a lot. So I like it at 7. Jose Abreu doesn't run, but he's a very, very talented hitter. Quantrill does not strike many guys out. Abreu will pretty much make contact every at-bat, and I believe that Abreu will be able to get on base. He should be able to do that with guys on base already. So I think RBIs are definitely going to be there for Abreu. This is going to be game playing at home. Going to be some good hitting weather. So I think that this number is just too low for both of these guys. Abreu, especially like 6.0. I mean, Quantrill is not a good pitcher. So this number is just too low, in my opinion, again. And Anderson, I love that, just the stolen base ability. That's something that I've been really looking at, and it's a good hitting spot. So when you combine those two, that's why I do like the over for Anderson. And the other side, Steven Kwan at 4.5. Like, is Giolito an ace? No, he's not. Jose Ramirez at 6.5. He can run. He's going to get the platoon advantage. This is a very high fly ball pitcher. Kwan, when he leads off, like, he really doesn't need to do much to get over 4.5. He just needs to get on base. He walks a ton. Jose Ramirez, Rosario behind him. There's speed. There's power in J-Ram, Naylor, Franmil Reyes. And again, this is a very concerning matchup for Giolito. I mean, anytime he takes the ball on the mound, he's giving him bombs left and right. You got a bunch of guys that can hit homers, especially in that middle part late in the order for the Guardians. So I think if Kwan can just get on base, he's going to be able to hit the over on this. You think about scoring a run, 2 points, he's at a 4.5 projection. That's going to be pretty easy for him to do. And Marcus Semien, 6.5. Taking on his former team in the A's. It's going to be Cole Irvin on the mound. Semien, he's been hitting a lot better as of late. A lot better against lefties. So he's going to be facing one here. Matchup against Irvin, very good. Irvin's just a guy that gives up a ton of bombs. And he has some significant splits. Semien, just both of those things do kind of puzzle together. And again, he has some speed. So that's the base upside. It's going to do him some favors there at only a 6.5 projection. So over on Semien here. And these 3 plays are dependent on what the pitching matchup is for them. So Christian Walker, Ketel Marte, 6.5, the first 2. It is scheduled. They're scheduled to face Patrick Corbin according to RotoWire, but I looked it up and I couldn't find anything on that. If it is Corbin, then I will take the over. Corbin, he's just not a good pitcher anymore. He also has some significant home road splits. So these 2 guys, they hit a lot better when they're facing off against lefties, and they're playing at home, 6.5. I think those are definitely low enough for me to at least maybe make tier 3 plays. So there you go with the Diamondbacks. And then the third one is Joey Wendell, hits and walks under 1.5 against Jose Quintana. Quintana, lefty-lefty matchup, and he doesn't really walk a ton of guys. Wendell also has a pretty low walk rate, like I think it's 5%. And Wendell, the one thing about this is that he will bat leadoff when it's a righty, but lefties, he sometimes will sit. So you're risking a DNP, which I'm fine with. But I would say if we're going to find out he's in the lineup, I don't know if his prop is going to be available because he likely won't lead off. He probably is going to be batting like 6 or lower. And at that point, I'm going to like this under a lot. So it really does depend on where he hits, if Quintana does indeed pitch this game. So it's a play that I just have on my radar, but not an official one quite yet because we just don't know what the lineup is, what the pitcher is going to be. So that's the reasoning. And for some leans, like this slate, it feels like there are a lot of good spots, a lot of pitchers to attack, but just right now, I need to see some of these batting orders and just to confirm all these starting pitchers. But one important thing, though, I will say is the weather is very favorable for hitting. There's a lot of 89-degree weather. Winds are pretty much blowing out in every game. I don't think I saw a single game where the wind's blowing in. At worst, it's left to right or right to left. So I guess that's why I'm taking a lot of unders for the pitchers and hitters for the overs in that case. But it's weather. We're looking at the night before, so we do have to keep an eye on that. But that's just how it's looking for right now. The personal plays, Tommy Edman over 6.5, Ian Happ over 6, Starlin Marte over 6, Bobby Witt over 6.5, Josh Bell over 5.5, and Ty France over 6.5. The stolen base targets, Yu Darvish, Nathan Eovaldi, two huge ones. They just allow a ton. And Cal Quantrill, Tyler Anderson, Jameson Taillon, Kevin Gausman, Logan Webb, Lucas Giolito, Corbin Burns. A lot of those guys I just named, they're pretty good pitchers, so I'm not going to be taking the overs on the hitters because they still need to get on base in order to steal a base, and a stolen base is never guaranteed. Antonio Senzatella, Justin Steele, Drew Rasmussen, and Spencer Howard. So those are the stolen base pitchers that we can target for stolen bases. For right now, I would say probably Tyler Anderson is my favorite under, and then Spencer Howard next. Hitting wise, it's going to be the pair of White Sox, Anderson and Abreu overs, but I'm kind of just, they're kind of all similar confidence really. So for the sake of trying to, dissect it, make everything not just bunched up in the same tier, that's why I do have these guys, Anderson and Howard, in tier 1. But I expect that I'm going to probably move things around a lot. This is a massive slate. First game back from the break for a lot of these teams. So, yeah, just going to have to keep an eye on a ton of things. And I definitely am going to update these plays tomorrow in the afternoon. We got the first game going off. I think it's at 3:40 p.m. Pacific time. So, a lot of time. But I will post the plays, just what I'm looking at for this after the video is posted. So, thank you guys for watching. Going to try to definitely keep everything on track, continue the winning streak that we got going before the break. So let's get a good start to the start of the second half of MLB. And thank you guys again. Good luck on the slate, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.